Most people think productivity is about discipline. Wake up early, drink water, force yourself to grind. That idea sounds tough, heroic, and it's mostly wrong. Here's the uncomfortable truth: your brain doesn't care about your goals, it cares about energy, prediction, and survival. And once you really get that, productivity stops feeling like a fight. Let me explain. Your brain is not a motivational speaker. It is more like a paranoid intelligence officer sitting in a dark room asking one question over and over: what's about to happen next? If the answer is clear, the brain relaxes. If the answer is vague, the brain panics quietly. That's why you sit down to work, open a document, stare at it, and suddenly feel the urge to check Telegram. And not because you're lazy, but because your brain has no prediction to lock onto. Unclear task equal to perceived threat. High performers don't have like a more willpower. They give their brain clear targets. Instead of things, I will work on this, they think in the next 40 minutes I will write the introduction and cite three sources. Like, for example, not what it's about, not like a general terms, but about precise next actions, duration, to clarify everything in the details for your brain. And the brain hears that and goes, okay, I know the mission. And that's predictive processing in action. And it's deadly effective. Now, here's where people mess up. They think planning means building a perfect plan. Wrong. The brain doesn't want perfection, it wants feedback. Your brain works like a GPS. It sets direction, moves, checks. If it's like, of course, adjusts, moves again. When you write let's say 10 pages without checking if you're on track, that's like driving blindfolded and hoping for the best. But smart people shorten feedback loops. Let's say write one page, check rubric, adjust. That's not hesitation, that's control. Now let's talk about stress, because this is where productivity goes to die. Stress doesn't make you sharp, it makes you stupid, biologically, like literally. High cortisol shrinks your working memory, you miss details, you overreact, you make bad decisions. And that's why clients who rush you feel exhausting. They are transferring stress. Professionals do not absorb stress, they slow the tempo. When someone pressures you, you respond with structure, timelines, steps, confirmation. Calm beats fast, always. And here's the brutal one: your brain doesn't rewire based on what you care about, it rewires based on what you repeat. You can value focus all you want. If you repeat chaos, your brain becomes chaotic. And this is why systems beat motivation. Same intake questions, same workflow, same checkpoints. After enough repetition, your brain stops thinking and starting executing. That's not laziness, that's mastery. And one more thing most people ignore: your brain hates holding things. Deadlines, requirements, client notes, all of that burns energy. Write it down, not for organization, but for the cognitive relief. The moment you offload information, your brain frees resources for thinking. It is like, your brain, you can think of it like a smartphone when you want to download something and it says like memory is full and you have to offload this, like metaphorically speaking, in order to get new information, new idea. And elite thinkers are not smarter, they just refuse to carry unnecessary weight. So here's the real productivity formula, no bullshit. Clarity over motivation, feedback over perfection, calm over urgency, systems over effort, repetition over inspiration. That's it. You don't need to become more disciplined. You need to stop fighting your brain and start working with its biology. Because once you understand like your like a natural in general humans biological mechanisms, it's gonna be for you way easier to manage this shit instead of like spontaneously trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. And once you do, productivity stops feeling heroic and starts feeling inevitable. Thank you for listening. Smash the like button, subscribe button. See you next time.